Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Hey, welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. You might notice our new environs. It's my environs.
Yeah, it's
just further back
where
for you guys.
It's where we used to do a show before Office. It was actually against that
It was
wall.
on that wall over there.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, you know what, man? People seem to pop a little bit when you and I are in the same room together for some reason. So I figure, like, every once in a while on Fridays, if we're down, if we're interested, or, yeah, honestly, it's up to you. If you want to come over here, I'll set things up, and then we'll do it.
That's a huge if. I want to get out of my comfort zone of my chair in my office.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You know, we like our comfort zone, so this is not going to be like, oh, we're going to do this now. This is actually kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But but it's fun. I like hanging out with you in person, not just having you as a little like window on my screen and in other circumstances. So yeah,
we're here.
This is us. Yeah,
we're here now.
And his internet's fine. This isn't because your internet broke.
No, it's fine. We just decided to do it.
Usually that was the case.
Yeah.
But I always forget you had the towel rack on the ceiling for lights back in the day.
Yeah, I got I put a towel rack up there to clamp the lights.
Yeah, it didn't really last very long, if I remember
It
correctly.
didn't last long at all, but I still have a towel rack on my ceiling.
So if you want to
Whenever to hang a towel from up there for any reason, you can do that.
Well, here's my thing is that, one day, probably 10, 12 years from now, we're going to sell this place and then probably move into my parents' house if they, and then they're going to be doing like a tour of this place.
like, why is there a towel rack?
I'm going to demand of the realtor, I'm going to say, listen, you need to leave that there because I want like a hidden camera.
Oh, wow.
So people can look at that and be like, what is going on here?
You want your own prank show, essentially, about why the towel rack is up there.
Tell me that's not great content. Friendo Club TV, people look at a towel rack.
Russell Juice is going to be a prank channel now.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So anyways, on today's show, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about NXT.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what else is on the agenda. Matt Hardy talks about Brawl Out and the Colt Cabana return. It's weird because like on the little Twitch thing, it says backstage details of Colt Cabana's return. I'm like, I hope he doesn't like come into our Twitch chat.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, hey guys, and it's like we're Twitch friendly with Colt.
We are.
We've done like at least one interview with him.
Yeah.
And he's just a delightful guy.
Absolutely.
So it's weird.
Yeah,
this isn't from him.
No.
So he can, if he wants to come in here and correct us, have at it. But there's some Matt Hardy talked about Colt Cabana, so we're going to talk about what Matt Hardy had to say, and then I think Dave Meltzer had some stuff about the backstage
and then there's
details.
Some stuff from Fightful as well, and Russell Oates. I think there's a lot there. But before that, we got this interview with John Moxley, with the Cincinnati Enquirer, and in that interview, Mox spoke about his decision to go to rehab, for treatment for alcohol addiction and concerns he had that he would be, quote, throwing his career away.
Oh, wow.
In order to seek treatment. This is what Mox had to say, quote, over a year ago, I was afraid of dying of a seizure in the ring.
Oh, wow.
I've had that in my mind every day. It was all messed up and going through an absolute personal hell for a long time that nobody else even knew about. When you're scared for your actual life, to make the decision to go to rehab and stuff I had to basically assume I'm giving everything away. I was like, okay, I'm either going to live a long, happy life and raise my kid and be a person, or I can wrestle, but I can't have both. He continues, if I had taken another step in the wrong direction, I could have been the verge of losing my family if I had gone that way. If I had kept going in another direction, I could have died on live television. Yeesh. I could have literally lost everything. So to make that choice, I had to completely give away everything. I'll never wrestle in this arena again. I'll never go to wrestle in front of fans again. I'll never get to be on TV again. I'll never win a championship again. I'll never make any money again. I'll go back and get my old job at the arena. I don't know. I had to give it all away. But when I got out, it turned out that nobody was mad at me at all. Everyone was very happy. I was welcomed back by AEW and by the fans. And it was just like, go and get back to it. And when you've already lost everything, all you fear for is your life, literally and figuratively. Now there's kind of nothing to lose. What? Am I going to lose a match? Will I screw up a move? Like, what could possibly go wrong? Almost nothing. Big effing deal. Am I alive? Okay. I think it was a fine day then.
That's good stuff. It's nice to hear him open up about that stuff. Maybe it'll be a positive influence on other people dealing with the same kind of thing.
I mean, it does take quite a bit of bravery to look yourself in the mirror and realize I need to go and seek help.
Yeah.
And to do that, especially when you're at the absolute top of your profession, and to feel like you're risking losing everything potentially, and still go and do it. Hats off to Mox for going and taking care of his health above all else. And it's great that AEW, the fans, everybody welcomed him back with open arms. I think most people appreciate the fact, you're battling with this.
Yeah.
Your health takes precedent. Go take care of yourself, come back healthy, and we're behind you 100%.
There's a reason that like a dude like him and a dude like Roman Reigns, who has also gone through not necessarily addiction issues, but his battle with cancer and stuff. Guys who have an honest assessment of their priorities in life and what's important. There's a reason those guys are at the top of the profession.
Yep.
There's a reason why people go to them for advice, that are there in the locker room leaders, if you will. There's a reason those guys are the locker room leaders.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's probably because of that perspective. They have their priorities in order and what they've been through. So yeah, kudos to Mox for opening up. Even opening up about that stuff, is a pretty brave thing to do. So that's awesome. There's a reason Mox is number one.
You got that right.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. Colt Cabana. On the most recent episode of The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy talked.
Jeff that did the dance.
Doom. Yeah, he did this one.
He did the delete.
You got to be careful. You got to have to the finger out, because some people we saw.
I know.
Anyways.
I know what you're talking about.
Matt Hardy talked about the imminent return of The Elite. He said this. These transcripts come to you via our friendos over at Fightful. He says it's going to be very interesting to see The Elite back. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, I'm very happy they're back. I will say this right here and right now. Those guys didn't do anything wrong in this situation. If anything, they were the victims. I'm telling you that from a first-person perspective. I was there. I witnessed it all. Holy shit.
Well,
I'm going to keep on reading.
Yeah, continue with the quote.
He says, I love all three of those guys. I've known Matt and Nick forever. I've just gotten to know Kenny while working with AEW. I'm very happy they're returning to TV. And they're back in the mix. They deserve to be in the mix. So we had not heard that Matt Hardy was actually there when all this was going down. So he clarified his comments in a subsequent tweet saying, quote, my comments from this week's Matt Hardy pod have been misconstrued. I was not at All Out 2022. I did not say I witnessed the events at All Out. Wait a second. Hold on a second, Larson. If this transcript is to be believed, he clearly says, I was there. I witnessed it all. So he clarifies, I witnessed the entire process in real time over the months. And I stand by my comment that the Elite were not in the wrong. So, he's throwing his support behind the EVPs who are going to be there.
Yeah.
Not the guy who's not going to be there.
No.
So that's probably a smart move on his part. He also spoke about friend of the show's Colt Cabana's return to AEW TV. What a great emotional moment that was.
Oh, that was pretty neat.
Wasn't that awesome?
That was neat.
Hardy said this. I was excited for it. It was great. Colt Cabana has been away from AEW for a very long time. It is what it is. I don't have to sit here and go into things, but we're in a position right now where he can be back at AEW TV, and I'm glad to have him back. I feel the investigation has happened, and I'm glad their names have been cleared, and they're coming back to TV, and I'm happy to see Colt Cabana, who I think is a great human being and performer. I'm happy to see back on AEW programming. Now, speaking of Colt's return, Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer himself, offered up some backstage details. We love the backstage details.
Oh, I mean, that's our bread and butter here. That's what our whole business is based on. Let's talk about these backstage details.
We need the details that are backstage, because we're not there.
We're not. We can see the details in front of the camera because we see
those. We don't need those. We see them.
We can't talk. We will talk about those in the NXT. Yes, we talk about the details.
We're going to talk about the on-screen details, but the backstage details. He said this.
Yeah.
Colt Cabana appearing led to even more talk because people saw it as a shot at Punk or a vindication of the story that Cabana stopped being used in AEW due to Punk. Whatever it was, if it was Tony Khan's idea.
No, it was Tony Khan's.
Whatever. I'm sorry. Whatever it was Tony Khan's idea. We were told that this was more for the locker room than anything else, that having Cabana on the show and given a positive spotlight after months of being ostracized for reasons that had nothing to do with him was a dressing room morale booster since he had many friends there. As best we can tell, Cabana was only in for that one match, but is still under contract to Ring of Honor, but is no longer ostracized and could be used again in some form. And then WrestleVotes tweeted this out. Colt Cabana showing up on Dynamite last night didn't go unnoticed in Stamford. That's code for WWE.
That's where WWE's head. That's where Titan Towers is at.
Unless he's referring to the citizens of Stamford, Connecticut. I'm not sure.
Like the entirety of the city of Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, they were paying attention.
Yeah.
He says that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say on that right now. So WrestleVille's going into their Stone Cold Steve Austin routine there. And then to clarify a little bit on that, following that, Fightful Select reported that WWE sources told them Colt's appearance, quote, seemed like a huge signal to WWE that if CM Punk wasn't finished with AEW before, he would be now. One source who is familiar with Punk and Colt mentioned that, quote, they'd be shocked if the two could ever work together again. I would think not.
Yeah.
I don't need to be I'm not close to the situation at all, and I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of felt that way before Punk even signed with AEW, that the odds of them ever working together again would probably be pretty minimal.
Like, being just the most basic of students of human behavior and the human condition, I could tell you that.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Minimal those odds.
Minimal.
So anyways, yeah, that's cool stuff. Hey, you know what, man, whatever with the backstage details and stuff was, it's just great for Colt Cabana to be out there doing his thing and to get that warm reaction from the crowd, absolutely. It's good to know that, with everything going on, people still appreciate his work. So. No, absolutely, man. People love Colt.
Absolutely.
I wanted to see this. I didn't actually listen to it. But it'd be on AEW Shop.
Was there a new shirt?
I think it was like Wrestle Talk had like a thing about there being a new Punk shirt. It's Shop AEW, not AEW Shop. I always get that.
It's
like,
WWE Shop.
WWE Shop, yeah.
Shop AEW.
Come on, Internet, do stuff.
It's like you're on my computer now.
I know, right? It's not. Oh, here we go. No, I wanted to see it because, I heard there was like a new Punk shirt, but now I'm kind of curious about that. I really want to get. They still have the All Out Hangman versus Punk.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry, Mox versus Punk shirt. Oh, maybe it was where did CM Punk win the title?
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. That's what they had. They had that up for a while. I want to see if they have like an All Out Punk versus Mox.
$135 Danhausen jacket.
Let's see. That's a bit excessive. It probably looks amazing though. Oh, here we go. I want new arrivals. Those are just Christmas ornaments.
They have a CM Punk Christmas ornament.
They have a CM Punk. They do.
Yeah, they do.
Yes. How long ago do they make those things?
Oh, months.
They have a
those orders in months ago.
Dude, are they just going to be like milking that shit? It's like he's gone. We got to recoup our costs for this fucking buy.
10 action figures of Punk.
Yeah, I know exactly. What is it? The sticker. Look, they got an MJF as the Joker sticker. He'll never wear that mask again. They got a cool Butcher sticker. A shirt. Okay, all this stuff I've seen before. Okay, I don't know. Maybe they found it somewhere else.
All right, friendos, let's take a quick break here. This episode of Going in Raw is brought to you by BetterHelp. I know I've spoken about it before, but there was a time in my life where I was getting really overwhelmed by life's challenges and started dealing with severe anxiety, and because of it, I got to the point where I realized that I needed to go to therapy.
Yeah, man. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the nearest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you.
That's true, Steve. And while it took me a while to find someone I felt comfortable talking to, once I did, I was able to learn tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety. And as the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
So you just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist, and if things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw. raw.
And before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, ExpressVPN. You know, using the internet without ExpressVPN, Larson, it's like using the bathroom with the door open. You never know who's going to walk by and take a picture of you while you're dumping out.
I mean, that's a bit of a crude analogy, but I see your point, Steve. See, here in the U.S., your internet service provider know every single website you visit, and then they can sell that information to ad companies and tech giants who then use that data to target you. You know, I can't stand it when I'm on the internet and I'm searching for something like, I don't know, like protein bars, because I like to get my protein in, you know?
Yeah, right.
And then after I do the search for protein bars, I'm just inundated with ads everywhere I go online for, guess what?
Protein bars.
Protein bars. Ah!
Yeah, that's really annoying. That's why I use ExpressVPN, because it protects you from all that, because it creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device, whether it's your phone, laptop, heck, even your router, and the internet. So that those ad companies and tech giants, they can't peep over your shoulder and see everything you're doing online. ExpressVPN is super easy to use, too. You just fire up the app and you click one button to connect, man. It's that simple.
Yeah, no wonder ExpressVPN is rated number one by Business Insider and The Verge. So secure your online activity today at expressvpn.com/GIR and get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN free. That's expressvpn.com/GIR, expressvpn.com/GIR.
Anyways, we've got a couple TV shows.
We do. NXT, Impact Wrestling.
That's right.
We start with NXT. That's what we're going to start with.
Okay.
That was
good.
on Tuesday. I watched it Wednesday, and yet I feel like I don't remember a whole lot about it.
Okay, I watched it mainly last night, and then the other part of it this morning. I remember a lot of Von Wagner. There was 2 Von Wagner segments.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember Braun Breaker still doesn't really have much of a character. So I remember that.
Although him joking with Wes Lee was all right.
Yeah, that was okay. But he just, when Pretty Deadly comes out to interrupt Braun Breaker, and he just sort of sits there with that goofy grin on his face because they're like doing an impression of him.
Yeah.
It's just, here's the thing. He's a Steiner. They should be booking Braun Breaker as a kind of guy. Like, do you think Pretty Deadly would approach Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, in the same manner? No. He's terrifying.
Yeah, he is.
He might like take your limbs off, like not even like in the fantasy land of WWE. Like he'll like legitimately do it. And I'm not. He doesn't need to be Big Papa Pump. I've said this before, but like give him something.
Yeah, no.
Give him something to chew on.
He's all intensity, but not a whole lot of edge. And I don't mean edge as in Adam Copeland. I mean there's no edge. There's no edge to him.
You think you know.
He's just like super intense, but not in any sort of frightening way.
Notable about this episode is R-Truth getting injured.
I believe Meltzer said he might have a torn quad.
Oh no. That's going to be a while then, probably.
Yeah.
He's already like old. He's like 50 years old or something. So that happened. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how it's going to play out, but this is 2 weeks in a row that I've appreciated a schism thing. I thought that Ava Reigns little bit, I thought it all made sense. I thought that was good stuff. I don't know how it's going to end up being like in terms of them having actual stories and feuds.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I kind of did.
So I know you were into the scripts thing last week. What do you think about it this week?
Less so.
Yeah, now that Scripps is spray painting Scripts on the Performance Center.
You know who I hope it is?
Who?
I hope Scripps is Hank Walker.
That'd be funny.
He's like, they now I got a contract, so I got to come up with like a character.
Yeah, they told me I need. They told me
like we're gonna write you like a script or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be Scripps.
Be Scripps.
Yeah, and that'd be cool. I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, who could it be? Or what if it's like fucking Dijak? He's got these vignettes and he's got those.
That's why I thought it, based on the first vignette. Like it does sound like they barely changed the audio for the voice recording. I was like, that just sounds like Dijak.
Yeah. I love Duke Hudson. All the things that I like Duke Hudson like ripping through the door.
The Kool-Aid Man.
I'm sorry, the sheet of paper, whatever it was.
Yeah,
that he ripped through.
Yeah. He did the Kool-Aid Man thing.
Yeah, because now Bodie's gone.
They referenced that.
They referenced Bodie being gone. Apparently Bodie, according to Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, wouldn't show up on time. Kind of difficult to work with. Get a big head about himself. You gotta wait till you're like top dog before you get a big head. Then you can do whatever you want. Then you could literally just do whatever you want.
I mean, not anything, but
I mean, we saw the line of what you can't do at Brawl Out. Like you can't run the company down publicly.
Yeah,
next to the owner,
and then throw hands.
Yeah, but anything short of that, it looks like Alba Fire.
Yeah,
it's gonna get yet another shot.
Yeah,
this time the goal is get rid of the thing that's keeping this title on Mandy.
Well, that'd be Gigi and JC.
So she took out Gigi this week.
Yeah,
and she assumes that the gory special. The gory bomb
through a table, yeah.
That's going to keep her out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because next week she says, I'm going to take out JC. Right. And then the week after that, I'm going to take out Mandy and get the title.
If you're Mandy, don't you put JC on a plane?
Well, no, you like wrap her in bubble wrap or something. So whatever Alba does doesn't affect her. Because you put her on her plane. Well, I guess you could put her on her plane and bring her back like right before the title match.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap is an idea, sure.
And then, so if Alba Fire tries to take her out, will fail because bubble wrap.
Yeah.
And then you can remove bubble wrap right before title match.
May I suggest that you're perhaps overestimating the power,
the effects
of bubble wrap,
of a gory bomb through a table?
Well, no, I think that's going to take over 2 weeks. But wrapping somebody in bubble wrap.
Oh man, whenever I mail something and wrap it in bubble wrap, it gets there like in one piece.
Yeah, because nobody's attacking it, man. It's just
I don't know, man. I've been to the post office before and see how they throw around packages.
Yeah, they can be. I have firsthand accounts of that from Lacey, or secondhand, whatever they are. Yeah. Her firsthand account.
Yeah, it'd be secondhand.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration and anger in that place.
Like literally, I saw when some person in the post office get a package to somebody and just like frisbee it into the bin.
Oh yeah, dude. Because who cares? One of my favorite things on NXT is what they're doing with the Veer and Sangha. Sounds like there's some depth there, especially the relationship between Sangha and Valentina Feroz. Mm-hmm. It's so adorable, and she's like, I don't know what's going on with you, but I'm here for you. And he's like,
well, she's like, do you want to join me ringside for my bout? And he's just like,
and then Veer shows up and he's like, they're not treating you right here, so come with me. I love it though, because they've got really good chemistry. They're not like doing the "let me tell you something" thing, brother.
They're not talking in pro wrestling voices. It's their voices, their shoot voices.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. That was really neat. So I like that stuff. I can't like the Nikita Zoe Stark thing. It doesn't work for me too well.
No,
I do like, man. I'll say this though, like this episode is jam packed with women's wrestling.
Yeah,
if you're like watching AEW, like where's all the women's wrestling? Well, NXT has all that.
That
shit.
Is true. That is
so.
True.
That's a good reason to check it out because there's a lot of women's wrestling here. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I can see why you'd say there's so much of this stuff is forgettable because like there aren't any big story beats beyond. So do you think going back to the women's title? Is Alba Fire finally going to win this thing?
I mean, I guess after what happened at Halloween Havoc, it seemed pretty obvious. The story was, well, if only Alba could take out Gigi and JC, she can win the title.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
When Alba and Mandy had their first title match, was that just a regular one-on-one bout? It wasn't a cage match or anything, right?
Okay, well, their first match was while she was still Kaylee Ray.
All right.
I kind of feel like that doesn't count because the rebrand is like, oh, it's a fresh time. I have a baseball bat and I'm an arsonist now.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like that doesn't really count. So right. I just sort of consider this feud right here. Is this feud that we've had over the past couple of months meant to get that title on Alba Fire and then send Toxic Attraction to main roster, or are they going to wait for a bigger moment, a younger star like Roxanne Perez, which is sort of what we had assumed was going to be the case.
Oh, we know that Triple H and Shawn Michaels are fans of Kaylee Ray, Alba Fire. She had that NXT UK women's title for basically 2 years.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
She's a hell of a wrestler. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 weeks' time she's the new champ.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
I mean they just had the 1 year celebration for Mandy that could kind of be, hey,
yeah,
let's celebrate what she's done the last year.
Yeah,
and then 2 weeks later, lose the title on your way to main roster.
Yeah, I could sort of see that being the case too. Let's go ahead and dive into it.
Yeah.
Kicked off with, Braun Breaker. Oh, my schism's so moist. Gets on the mic. He's got his leather jacket. Halloween Havoc was monumental night for NXT.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did it look like he was wearing acid wash jeans?
Bro, this dude is a fashion nightmare. He really is. I can't that's one reason I have kind of a hard time taking him seriously. At least Von Wagner looks like he dresses in the year 2022. It's like, I get it. You want to be a 90s throwback because that's when the Steiners were big.
Yeah.
But you don't have to wear like mom jeans and acid wash and like the dorky leather jacket. It makes him look like silly. And it's like, he's a stud. He should look silly, you know?
Yeah. I know.
He should dress. God, what were the name of those jeans from like 2005, 2006? Like that, like dudes would wear like affliction shirts. And
that were super baggy?
That's actually a really cool idea too. I was thinking of the ones that had like big crosses on them.
Oh yeah.
And like they had like fucking studs on them and shit.
Like John Morrison's wrestling gear.
yeah, kind of. Like you would see dudes walking around with that stuff. He should be not 1991. He should be 2005.
Yeah, he should be like new metal.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think that'd be fantastic. So anyways, he says the Halloween, he's doing the whole Walmart greeter thing.
Yeah.
He says Halloween Havoc was a monumental night for NXT, for the whole locker room, for guys like Wes Lee, Julius Creed. He talks about what they did. And then, yes, boy, interrupted by Pretty Deadly. And he's like, we've had enough of this nonsense. There's Braun doing what he always does after he sneaks out a title win. And then they mock Braun Breaker a little bit. And he just has this goofy look on his face.
Yeah,
like
he's awkward. He doesn't know what to do.
I think he's like legitimately amused by them. And since he hasn't been given any other character direction, that's just what he does.
Yeah.
They're just like, just act like you would act. He's like, oh, man, they're doing a good impression of me.
Oh, they're so clever.
Yeah. So they call Braun the worst, and they're sick of him. And then Braun, I forget where it was exactly, but he does a British accent.
Yeah, he does.
He says, what you guys want? And Pretty Deadly's like, oh, you don't talk to us like that. It's bad enough having Wes Lee doing his Oscar speech last week, and now we have to deal with this. He says, where's our parade? We deserve the spotlight. Not Braun Breaker, not Wes Lee. So that brings out Wes Lee.
Yeah.
He comes to the ring. He says, I can't listen to this anymore. He tells Pretty Deadly, shut up. He says, I appreciate the words from you, Braun. He says, Pretty Deadly doesn't appreciate me. It's about them. It's about them and Braun. And then Braun says, quit bitching to Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
He says, if you weren't in the back brushing your hair for 3 hours, maybe you would have gotten out of here first. And then Lee says, to their credit, they do have good hair.
I did like this where Braun goes up and touches the hair.
That was like the first moment where I was like, oh man, he's doing something. Like he's maybe it's stuff like that you just need to get a lot more of.
Yeah.
And he'll build up that, okay, I kind of get who he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was really like eyeing the hair.
He was expecting it.
It was a really funny moment. So yeah, Braun was like looking at their hair. Anyways, like long story short, Wes and Braun give them the floor. They talk a bunch, and then they're like, hey, you know what? This is usually when somebody interrupts. And who's going to interrupt? And then Wes is like, oh, it's going to be us. We want a match. And Braun's like, yeah, put up your titles. We want to be double champ.
Yeah.
And so that was the main event for the night.
Yeah. Then Elton says, opening the show sucks. There's no way that this could be worse. R-Truth comes to the ring.
Yeah.
Because he's got a match against Grayson Waller, and that was next. So this match ended suddenly due to R-Truth's injury.
Yeah.
Truth punches Waller out of the ring, hits a tope, and then upon landing, hits his knee, or holds his knee upper thigh area. Mm-hmm. Ref checks on picture-in-picture. They call off the match. He's helped to the back. Waller drops a promo. Says, I'm not surprised. It doesn't matter who it is, whether they're from NXT, Raw, SmackDown. I'm the most dominant superstar in this company. I'm tired of people sleeping on me. I just beat a 20-year vet, and I did it on my own. This is my house, and nobody's going to change that.
You know, good on him if he had to improv that stuff.
I would imagine that's probably the case.
You know, and so yeah, it has been, you know, we had said this since the beginning of 2.0. if we're gonna like try to appreciate anything about watching wrestlers develop, it's gonna be watching them develop.
Yeah.
And you see a guy like Grayson Waller, who clearly would kill it right now in main roster. As a character, does he always do something for me? No, not necessarily. But in terms of having what it takes to succeed as a sports entertainer,
yeah, you can see he has all the ingredients.
He's got it all there, and that's a situation where he was thrown a curveball. It was really unfortunate for R-Truth because he's been one of the few guys to escape the 24/7 division, which apparently now is like pretty much. They do use it on live events.
Yeah,
it's actually changed hands. I think I read like 19 or 20 times.
Wow.
But what they do is at the live events, they'll have like Dana Brooke walks in with it. And I think they probably do the same thing. It'll go like Nikki ASH will win it. Tamina will win it from her. Sometimes a referee will then win it. And then by the end of the show, Dana Brooke
gets it back.
Ends up with it again. But R-Truth, of course, he's been able to escape that stuff. He's been on TV a bunch.
Yeah, he has been. He's always wildly entertaining when he's on.
So I love this. Peg Junk here in chat has it. True religion genes.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, I got my true religions.
Oh my
got them
gosh.
on eBay. I wonder if they still sell those things.
Oh, I imagine you can get them somewhere. Then we had the Schism sit-down interview, which you talked about. So Vic Joseph is hosting. Asks Ava Raine why Schism, and she says nobody knew it was me, and I showed people that they knew nothing. She said, I've been around WWE my entire life, and no one took the time to get to know me until I met Schism. They were the only people who took the time to see the real me. When I first started training at the Performance Center, I got injured and I required surgery, and Joe Gacy was the only one to text me. Why should I sit there and answer your questions when you're making assumptions about me like everyone else is? And then Vic asked Gacy if, you must be loving the attention now. And he says, well, Ava isn't here because she does something for us. People have asked her for things her entire life. Everyone asks her for things that they don't deserve. Ava is here because we accept her for who she truly is. Zach Gibson says they've all faced more ridicule. They've been compared to other groups in NXT, but those other groups never dreamed of achieving the togetherness that they have. And he says, Vic, we want to offer you a pin.
Vic, would you like a pin?
And I like that he just kind of grimaces.
Yeah. He's like, what's your pin number?
Yeah, exactly.
Your debit card?
Is it 4 digits or 5?
6?
Yeah, or 6.
What is it your birthday?
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Joe Gacy told me his already. I had to go down and fetch supplies. So that's one piece of the puzzle. Soon to be recognized as NXT's number one identity thief.
There you go. Then maybe that's why they adopted the new names.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's
names
all,
that can't be traced.
It's all there.
It's all the grift.
It's all a grift.
So then Drake says, when you take your mask off to reveal your true self, it's harsh for people, but it's welcome in Schism, and we're not responsible for your unfavorable reactions. And then Vic reads a quote from Grimes about Schism brainwashing Ava. Ava says, I don't want to allow anyone to brainwash me. I saw what Grimes could never see, that together Schism can be more than I could be by myself. They are committed to make an example out of Grimes. Will continue next week when Grimes has to face Joe Gacy.
I really like David Rain in this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just works. I like the idea that they've been able to find a way to reference the kind of life she obviously has had to live, being in the shadow of somebody like literally the biggest, probably most popular star on the planet.
Yeah,
and that's really good stuff. I thought this was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was the character motivation is spot on.
It really is. Yeah. Now again, how is that going to translate
into stories in the ring? Yeah,
we're going to target people who we want join our cult, and then they're not going to join, and we're going to have a match. Like, is that just how it's going to go? Because you got to find something a bit deeper than that. After that, Javier Bardal talks to Idris Enofe and Blade and Malik Blade. Says, you guys are great. Not quite championship material. He says, don't waste your time trying to get a meeting with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. He says, just watch my match tonight. And then Odyssey Jones exits HBK's office and tells Javier, you got a match with me tonight. So we're gonna see that. I like Javier Bardem, man. I think he's got a good facha. He's got a good face.
It's Bernal, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but Bardell is funnier because of the
Then we got Indy Hartwell step up to Zoe and Nikita in the locker room, and she's asking what their problem is because Zoe is still salty about the tag title bout. And she said, "I got dropped by Alexa last week, and you don't see me pouting. Get over it.
Yeah.
You're getting a rematch." When was the last time I got a title match? And Zoe says, probably because you don't deserve one. Title matches aren't handed out, they're earned. And Indy says, Zoe's about to earn a boot to the face.
Get a boot to your face.
And they start talking crap.
Yeah.
And eventually it's broken up because they got a match later on.
Yeah. Indy needs to go to main roster.
Yep.
She needs to go to main roster. Like she's like Big Show levels of like turning face heel, face heel. It's like whatever they need from her.
Exactly. This next bit, Andre Chase is hyping up Thea Hale for a match against Kiana James. They look over. There's Bodie's Chase U flag just leaning against the wall. And Thea says, something doesn't feel right. And then who busts through the wall there? Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man.
Duke Hudson. He just says, I'll do it.
This was really... Number one, I was not expecting that.
I was expecting a Kool-Aid Man's moment now.
I saw it on social media. It was really well framed, like on TV, because like they have her and then the negative space of that, like whatever that paper banner thing that he's burst out through, and it was just emptiness right there. And I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty good TV direction right there. You got the flag right there, and everybody's like, oh, and then
oh yeah,
buzz through. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So I don't know if it was. I didn't really get a good look whether it was paper, or just like really thin sheetrock.
I have no idea. It looked like paper to me, but I have no idea. After that, we had that match. We had Thea Hale versus Kiana James, and Duke is just he's trying to do too much, but he's able to play this game pretty well. He knows when okay, if I'm going to get in here, if I'm going to take this over, or whatever his plan is. I gotta make it seem like I'm listening and obeying.
Yes.
What Andre Chase, Harlem Bravado, wants me to do.
Yes.
And so yeah, like James hits like a float over flatliner on Thea Hale. Duke puts his foot on the bottom rope. Chase is like, whoa, we don't cheat here at Chase U. He says, get to the back, and Duke's like, okay. So Kiana hits her finisher again to get the win. Chase gets in the ring to help up Thea Hale, and he's attacked by Charlie Dempsey. Because remember, he did like a thing with Chase U, and then he disappeared.
Yeah.
And of course, he's no longer with. Oh man, I miss. What are their names?
De Familia.
Oh man, I miss De Familia. They were my favorite.
You knew they weren't going to last because they were never in unison with their entrance.
And one guy's doing this, and one guy's doing this.
One guy's doing this, pointing to his eyes.
Oh, man. So anyways, yeah, Charlie Dempsey, which is awesome. Apparently, I read somewhere also, could be completely, this might have been one of those things that I just read, and I have no idea where it came from, that WWE filed a trademark for his shoot name.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Okay, cool.
Bailey Matthews?
That's it, yeah.
Is that his name?
Bailey Matthews. My son. He's going to be in the Blackpool Combat Club one day. Oh, too late, Bailey. I ruined it. At Full Gear this year, it's completely disintegrating.
Yeah.
Anyways, Duke runs to the ring to make the save. He helps up Thea, and as he's like helping Chase, he looks over at Thea.
Yeah.
He gives her a big wink.
Yeah.
Oh, Duke is really good. Duke is the weirdest. He's like the weirdest case of like, how is this guy not like a huge star in main roster yet?
I know.
It was weird.
Then we got Briggs Jensen and Fallon Henley doing an interview talking about the tag title bout in the main event. Briggs says they're pulling for Braun and Wesley, but it's Pretty Deadly win. They can't run from them much longer. And Jensen says Pretty Deadly is going to fall to them. And Fallon says, yeah, Pretty Deadly's time is running out. And then Kiana's assistant steps in, hands Fallon an envelope. And she opens it, and it's some paperwork.
Yeah, what was the implication here? I sort of half paid attention to this particular thing.
I don't know.
Whenever I see Briggs, I just think, because I told you this.
I assume Kiana James is going to try to buy the bar.
Oh, okay.
The land, sort of like she was doing some research in the land.
Oh, the development angle.
Yeah, same thing for
Fallon's
bar.
I want to buy your bar. Okay.
Well, it's not for sale.
It's not for sale. All right, well, let's have a match.
And then Kiana's going to do something where she's trying to buy it out from under him, and then they have to, like an 80s movie where they have to come up with some sort of fundraiser to get the money together to buy the back from the bank, so Kiana can't get it.
Bikini car wash. And Jensen's out there in like freaking Speedo, with a boner. Bricked up. Bricked up is going to be his new name, Bricked Up Jensen. No, I told you this. I watched Evolve. I don't know. It was
an old one, right?
An old Evolve from 2019. And it's hilarious to see how many like NXT 2.0 people are in it. And of course, Briggs, he was like I think he was the final Evolve champion.
Sounds right.
He was so over with that crowd. No Southern accent either.
Yeah.
That's a total put on.
Yeah.
But if I'm him, I'm thinking to myself, man, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a guy, because he was up there, feuding with Austin Theory and he might have taken the title off Theory. I don't know. But yeah, and they got him in this cheesy, goofy tag team with a Southern accent. I don't know. Anyways, after that, we had Braun Breaker and Wes Lee.
Yeah,
in the locker room. And then Mr. Stone steps in. He says, I was looking for you, the unstoppable Braun Breaker. He says, you're so unstoppable, you care more about winning tag titles than defending your own. It's like, he just defended his title.
Yeah, he did 2 weeks ago.
He says, Braun, you know that you can take on anyone in NXT except for my man, Von Wagner. He's the dumpster champ. And then Braun laughs. And Stone says, oh, yeah, enjoy doubling up your titles because Von is going to take the NXT title off of your shoulder. And Braun says, next time, tell Von to come over here rather than sending his errand boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell the dumpster champ we'll meet him in the dumpster.
He wants a friend, get a dog.
Get a dog.
Next, we got Odyssey Jones versus Javier Bernal. This match was pretty quick. Odyssey gets the win, hits a corner splash, boss man slam to get the W.
Yeah.
Then we're on to Mandy Rose's 1-year championship celebration.
Yeah.
JC speaks first, says, bound presence of greatness, 1 year proving everyone wrong, 365 days being the baddest bitch in the game, and being the most dominant champ in NXT history. Gigi says Mandy is untouchable, but the fans underestimate her. She has proven time and again that she is superior to everyone in the locker room.
Hers is superior. Then JC, she goes on a little bit as well, and then Mandy thanks them both. She says, and then she goes off on a little bit of a tirade. I actually really like this bit here. Yeah. I thought this was really good. She's like, all that. She's not bad for a piece of eye candy, huh? Because that's all I was to you people for 4 years. I was a peach. She says, I was a peach, a Barbie doll, a bottled blonde made in a lab, a centerfold bitch. That's why 2 years ago I realized I needed to bet on myself. And I made the choice to come here. And it's the greatest decision I've made in my entire life. And with the help of Gigi and JC, Toxic Attraction has risen to the top. She says, numbers don't lie. Ratings don't lie. Merch sales don't lie. You people thought I couldn't hold the women's title. Why? Because this title represents the greatest women's wrestler in the world. She says, I just don't say put some respect to my name because it's a nice catchphrase. It's because it's the damn truth. I've given every woman in the division a shot at the title, and I've stepped on every single one of them. My way to the top feels good to be sitting my rightful throne. So then, she keeps on talking, and then smoke shoots up, like at ringside, sort of between the camera and them. Mm-hmm. And then Alba Fire gets in there, takes out Gigi and JC. Mandy gets out of the ring, and then Alba gory bombs Gigi through the table. She gets on the mic, says, Mandy. She said, this week, I took out Gigi. Next week, I'm taking out JC Jane. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to take that title off.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought this was a strong segment, but I think you're kind of right, man. I think that, they did the 1 year anniversary. That's a big moment. They did a great video package. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's time. I don't know. I think that obviously Alba Fire, she's probably one of the top 3 wrestlers on the roster in NXT. Mm-hmm. She made a great UK champion.
Yeah.
That's a great way to go in NXT. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I'll sort of believe it when I see it, because every time I say, "Oh man, he's going to lose this title," she's going to lose this title. It doesn't happen.
I know. Then we had Apollo Crews interview. He says, "Pretty deadly. Got the moment in the sun with Braun, but a 1-1 match between Braun and myself. That is what the NXT universe wants to see. That's what I want. I'm just not sure Braun wants the same thing." Apollo says, "I'm a matchup problem for anybody in NXT, including Braun. When I came to NXT, I looked Braun in the eyes, told him what I was coming after. Since then, Braun hasn't spoken my name one time. Says, I get it. Braun is the champ, and I got to chase him. But with Braun being a fighting champion, I didn't expect to put on my running shoes. And then Von Wagner steps in.
Hey.
Says, Paulo, you're a funny dude.
Hey, you're funny.
You're a matchup problem? Well, I'm a problem, period.
I'm just a problem.
I know. I know you like to look into the future.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that title, I'm the future.
I'm the future. Can you look at that now?
I know. Dumpster champ.
You're looking at me, the dumpster champ. You're a time traveler. I'm a dumpster traveler. I go from dumpster to dumpster.
Defending my title.
Yeah, that's right. Is it Paulo Cruz's quest to get to the NXT title going to be waylaid by a loss to Von Wagner?
Oh, it's entirely possible, man.
It's very possible.
It's entirely possible. And then we got another script video package. And while the voicemail plays of slightly different audio filters applied to it, kind of out of focus, you see somebody spray painting a wall.
Yeah.
And then the voicemail ends. The background video gets more in focus, and the person leaves the scene, and they just painted scripts on the wall.
It's Trey Miguel.
Yeah, maybe
doing the
but then the timing would be a little bit off.
It'd be a little bit. It's a little bit off. Anyways, after that, we had Indy Hartwell versus Zoe Stark. Zoe all of a sudden just can't get. She's still bugged by the loss, so she can't get her shit together. No. Nikita's trying to help her. Zoe is like so over it. She clears off the announce table because she's got Indy ready to go through that. She's looking to powerbomb Indy through, and Lyons is like, dude, you can beat her in the ring. Like, that's where you need to beat her.
Yeah.
And then Zoe puts Indy back in the ring, and then Indy's able to come to, hits Zoe with a boot and that big forearm.
Yeah.
It's like her fourth finisher that she's developed to get the win there.
Yeah, from the creative standpoint, they're really going from 0 to 60 with Zoe being relatively level-headed to after one loss.
On tilt.
Yeah.
A mess. Yeah. I don't know. I think Zoe Stark is a terrific wrestler.
Yeah.
I really do. She's fantastic in the ring. And I guess, getting reps in to build the character, I think, you can't, I guess, complain about that. It's just like her and Nikita, they were so thrown together and like they have zero chemistry.
Yeah.
But they're trying. I give effort points. Yeah.
It just feels like if there's more of a journey from point A to point B, like have that moment losing the tag titles kickstart it.
Yeah, right.
Like she battles with taking out her frustration, but doesn't, totally like give into that frustration immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah. If it weren't for Nikita here, she would have powerbombed Indy through that table.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like I feel like at that moment she needed to stop it herself rather than Nikita to do it. But then she loses that match, then the frustration builds and builds.
Because this is just going to be like they're going to lose that tag title match and then they're going to feud.
I know. That's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
And then we had another Dijak video package.
Yeah, that's right.
Scripts. He says, my eyes are no longer shielded.
Yeah.
My business is unfinished. It's not about anger or frustration. It's about authority. My authority.
My authority to go to Arby's.
Yeah.
They got that new orange bun.
My authority over their new line of spicy sandwiches.
Oh, man. I love the spice. Just not too much spice. I don't want my eyes to water. I want
my insides to burn, too.
See some of those ghost pepper challenges on TikTok,
Have you done the one chip challenge?
People are getting real sick with that one chip challenge. T-Bar is not into that. I have a limit. Anyways, justice is coming. I'm authority.
That's right.
After that, we had Valentina Feroz talking to Sangha backstage. She's like, look, man, this is very sweet. She's like, I don't know what's going on. She said, but can you be in my corner tonight? And he's like, you are very, very strong. And then Veer steps in. He's like, can't do it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, I understand. And then she leaves. And then Veer's like, hey, brother. She's like, in NXT, they take your kindness for weakness. Have they honored you? Sangha just goes, puts his head down. And he says, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And then they go.
Yeah.
They're so fucking cool.
I know.
They are cool, man.
They are cool.
I love this. I don't know what it is. I mean, you kind of understand what it is. But like, man, I like this.
It is good. Then we get Zoe and Nikita backstage. Zoe is mad about taking the L. Says, I'm all in my head and it's getting the best of me. And then she promises Nikita, I won't let my head cost us our match next Tuesday. And then Carter and Chance step in and say, You guys have to be better to win these.
Ah.
And Zoe says, well, we beat you before. And Carter tends to say, no, that doesn't count.
That didn't count.
That didn't count.
The wrong person.
I got belts on.
Yeah.
You don't have belts. We have belts.
Possession, 9/10 of the law. After that, we had Cora Jade versus Valentina Feroz. Jade gets a DDT here for the win. After Feroz misses a crossbody off the second rope, Jade hits a senton, then the DDT. And then Jade is about to hit Feroz with the kendo stick. Wendy Chu runs in. She comes to the ring to make the save.
She was in the background of the Feroz Senga song.
I guess they like woke her up with all the talking. She gets a kendo, takes a swing. Cora runs out of there, gets out of dodge.
Yep. Then we got Tony D and Stax backstage. Tony says, hey, Stax, thanks for getting the merch vendor to put my shirt front and center. Next week, you got a match against Hank Walker.
Yeah.
Stax says, I'll take care of him. Tony's like, I know you will. Elektra Lopez steps in. Tony says, oh, you finally decided to go on your own. And she says, damn right. And you think I was dangerous before. Watch how dangerous I am now.
Well, I want to know if revenue at the docks is still up, thanks to Elektra Lopez.
That's a good question.
I thought this is actually kind of decent because they had set this up with her being the one person out of Legato that was doing well under Tony D, and then she goes back to him. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. That's all we ask for. After that, we had, main event time, Pro Breaker, and Wesley versus Yes Boy, Pretty Deadly, and thanks to some shenanigans from Carmelo Hayes. The good guys here take the L. We all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
We kind of figured it'd be Mello. To be honest, even the cameraman was expecting it because he went to the entrance a little bit too early.
Yeah, I know.
So Wesley had gone up top to hit a move, and Carmelo shows up as the ref is distracted, and he pushes him off. And then Wilson gets the roll up win on Wesley for the win, while Braun Breaker is dealing with something else. That's probably the other guy. So then Lee takes out. It's kind of cool because Braun's like, "Oh no, what happened? We lost the match." And Lee didn't really take much of a beat.
No,
he's just like, "Fuck you, Carmelo Hayes," and he does a tope out, like hits it perfectly, takes out Carmelo. They fight up the ramp and backstage, and then Braun picks up the title, holds it up, turns around, gets a big boot. Yeah, hey, I'm dumpster champion. I'm a problem now. I'm a problem champion. And then Apollo watches backstage on the monitor, and then JD McDon't Google my name steps in next to him, tells Apollo, he says, the vision
that you had about being the man around here. He said it's going to be pretty tough to have, and then he said something else that I listened to like 3 times, but he mumbled it so much that I couldn't really make out what the rest of it was.
Are we still live?
Oh.
Are we still live? He said, don't Google my name. And then Paul was like, doesn't Kevin Owens hate you? It's like, yeah.
Haven't you already lost like 2 title matches, JD?
Yeah. Like, what the heck? Is JD going to be the guy that gets the win on Apollo? Because JD, he got the win on, what's-his-face, on Ilya.
Yeah.
The Tsar.
I know.
Yeah.
Wrote him off.
So Apollo's he's got some stiff competition there.
That he does.
For the title. Last night, we had an Impact Wrestling as well.
Getting ready for Overdrive.
Overdrive. I really liked. Do you think they've written off PCO, or is he going to be back?
Oh, he's going to be back. He's gonna dig himself out of that hole that Ed Edwards put him in.
I really like that. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that it was lit well.
Yeah.
Minimal, but it was like one light.
Car headlamps.
Yeah, car headlamps, exactly. But I liked it. And then they had, like, when he was digging the thing, they had like a really cool song playing.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a Sons of Anarchy type thing.
They do a good job with the audio they do for these video packages or the little video stuff they do outside the studio. I
also liked, because like the last couple of weeks we've been bitching about how they've been doing the Bully Ray thing. I think this week we got movement on that.
Yeah.
Bully Ray asserted himself during the Moose match. Moose, you got to appreciate Moose. Moose will take a loss to pretty much anybody if it advances a story.
Yep.
And I've always appreciated that about Moose. And he took a loss this week to Ace Austin because of Bully Ray. Mm-hmm. And I actually like that story beat. It wasn't all just Tommy Dreamer acting.
I know. There was no like backstage bits between Bully and Tommy where they got Bully's like, oh, I'm for real this time.
Yeah.
I'm not a scumbag anymore. And Tommy's like, I believe you. I don't believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
Wasn't any of that, which is good. I mean, they still got everybody going up to Josh Alexander saying, don't trust Bully. I think they've hammered that point home sufficiently.
Yeah. At some point, he needs to say, okay, shut up about it.
Exactly.
I know everybody here has history with Bully. I get it. If one more person fucking comes up to me and tells me about you can't trust Bully, I'm putting you in a fucking ankle lock.
You're getting C4 spike.
You're getting a C4 spike. Exactly. Like, he needs to blow up on people.
I know. I'm
Too good.
tired of hearing about it. Tired of hearing about
this shit.
Show opened up with Ed Edwards.
Yeah.
Out in the desert. And he says, Honor No More is no more because of PCO. He says, they say, hundreds of people are buried out here. So let's end this out here in the desert tonight.
He's gonna add him to the graveyard of the desert.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with this. No. Opened up with Kenny King versus Mike Bailey.
Man, these two have awesome chemistry.
They've got terrific chemistry. It's just like, really? They put PJ Black versus... We talked about this last week. Yuya Uemura. And then I think it's going to be PJ Black versus Black Taurus.
On Being the Impact?
So they didn't say that, but I kind of feel like it's going to end up being on Being the Impact.
Probably.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell?
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer because I'm not going to watch that. But no, these guys, like you said, phenomenal chemistry. Kenny King, it's funny because Kenny King was like with Honor No More. I'm not terribly familiar with him, but I love his entrance song and like his whole fucking like the cape that he wears coming down. He's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, he's a really good wrestler too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Finished this, saw Kenny King put on a half crab on Speedball. He's been kind of working his leg throughout. Bailey gets to the ropes. King pulls him back towards the center, and when he does that, Bailey's able to flip on his back and starts trying to kick out of it. Kenny catches one of those kicks, but then Bailey uses that to reverse into a roll-up to get the win. Both Bailey and King were like, oh.
Yeah.
Shocked the win happened that way.
Yeah. No, it was a phenomenal match.
It was really, 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 really good. Then we're backstage. Josh Alexander's chatting with Motor City Machine Guns about how awesome Aussie Open is, and then Saban says, hey, no, everybody's been here about this, about Bully Ray.
Okay.
You can trust me saying you can't trust Bully. And Shelley says, yes, all these people can't be wrong.
Josh just sits there. I'd be so over it. I'm like, I'm the fucking champion, okay?
I know.
Tired. Like, where's my locker room? Where's my personal locker? Roman has a suite.
I mean, and to be fair, the last time I saw a men's locker room side Impact, it led to the parking garage, Steve. Maybe going to the locker room is not a great idea.
Maybe,
Maybe wandering the halls and corridors wherever they're filming this, Sam's Town or where this is in Vegas, is a better way to go than wandering down to the parking lot and probably getting attacked by maybe Bully.
Yeah, those are all very good points. Like men's locker room, parking garage, fucking Scott D'Amore's office is a fucking stairwell.
I know. I mean, they stay in
Does this place have no rooms?
The parking garage, like the locker room is your rental car.
If I was Josh Alexander at this point, that's where I'd be. I'd be sitting in my fucking car. I'd make sure it had tinted windows so nobody bugged me. They're like,
lay the seat all the way back, tinted windows. Exactly.
Man, I know everybody's telling you this.
Roll the window back up. Don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear it.
Just turn the music up.
Turn some fucking Bon Jovi back up.
There we go.
So anyways, after that,
It's My Life.
Yeah. Yeah. The variation. Fuck my life.
Yeah, I know.
This was funny. Giselle Shaw
was pretty great.
Passing out flyers backstage, just like a picture of her, a still of her holding the Knockouts title. So she's handing out to everybody. She finds Vexed, and she hands one to each Chelsea and Deanna. She's like, look at that, my abs are popping, I look like $1 million. And Chelsea's like, she's like, no, that right there is the reason we didn't retire Mickey. And Deanna says, you're the reason the Influences broke up. We should do that too. And Shaw's like, no. You can't kick me out. I quit. I'm breaking up with you. Yeah. And then she leaves. And Deanna says, now you can focus on what's important. Retiring Mickey James. So I think it's like next week.
Yeah.
They've got that match.
Yeah. Then we got Savannah Evans versus Jessica. Before the match, Tasha Steele says last week Savannah had a little appetizer tonight. They want to know who wants to be the main course. So Jessica comes out with Death Dolls. So down towards the finish, Jessica hits crossbody. Tasha gets on the apron. Rosemary takes her out with a spear, but that's enough, a little bit of a distraction. So Evans hits Jessica with a boot, follows with a full Nelson slam to get the win.
Yeah.
Then we got another Killer Kelly video package. Mm-hmm. Seemingly just walking backstage trying to find someone else to fight.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's all in red. Rewinding here to the Savannah Evans Jessica match, I thought it was really good stuff. And yeah, I don't necessarily know where it's headed.
Well, I'd assume that Tasha and Savannah are going to get a shot at the tag titles.
They're going to go for the tag titles.
Yeah,
Is that going to be the thing?
case.
Building her up for the tag titles. That makes some sense. After all that, we had a Steve Macklin promo, tag him, bag him. He says, I'm sick and tired of every person jumping the line. How many former world champions do I have to beat? I've beaten the best Impact has to offer. He names some. He says, yet everyone gets to jump the line. And he says, bully politics into call your shot. He gets a shot. Kaz cashes in. He gets a shot. He says, heck, even Bobby Fish shows up and gets a shot, folks.
Where's the lie?
Where's the lie? He says, so now I'm going to take what I want, and that's the Impact World title.
Yep. Then we got a major players promo bit backstage. Cardona saying to Overdrive they're going to be the new tag champs. And they start crapping all over Heath and Ryan, just talking all sorts of trash. Meyer says after Overdrive, we'll never have to say, can't remember if he's talking about Rhino or Heath, his name, of course.
Say his name.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
So he shows up. He was just like waiting in the... like
He's in a refrigerator.
Yeah, it was a refrigerator. And he says, oh, you guys are showing concern to the tag titles, but who's going to show concern for the digital media title? And then he directs us at the title. He talks to the title, and he says, I'm sorry that your dad isn't showing more concern for you, but maybe I can. And then he walks off, and fucking Mark Cardona says, what were you doing in the freezer?
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. I did not expect... They do a pretty good job of busting out Joe Hendry when you don't expect it.
I know. It was pretty solid. And then we got Ed Edwards. Yeah. Wait in the desert for PCO. PCO finally shows up. They're brawling. PCO puts on a mandible claw. Edwards cracks him in the head with a rock.
Oh, yeah.
And then suplexes him on a pile of dirt and tells him, it's all your fault. Now it's going to end. And so then PCO grabs Eddie by the throat, choke slams him on a boulder.
Yeah. Oh.
He's about to club Eddie with a rock. Instead, Eddie finds a shovel, hits PCO with it, puts him in a hole, starts to bury him.
They did a really good job with the editing on this, because that last shot with the fucking shovel, like they did a cut, and so like, but he was able to do a whole baseball swing with it.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really good job with this. It's all cheesy stuff anyways, but yeah, I kind of feel like Edwards is going to show back up in Impact. He's going to try to go about his day, and then PCO is going to show up just covered in dirt.
I know. Spits out a mouthful of gravel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and everybody's going to mark out.
Yeah. Then Taylor Wilde, she's backstage. She walks up to Mickie James. Taylor says, hey, you got a match against Chelsea next week. Mickie says, Chelsea was the catalyst for all this. It wasn't for Chelsea beating me twice. I wouldn't be on this journey, so I need to have this match, and I need to beat her. And Taylor says, and then we'll finally get the match that we've been won. And then Mickie says, yes, but I have to get through Chelsea first. And then once I do that, we will have our match. And Taylor says, well, I know Deonna's going to be ringside with Chelsea, so I'll be there in your corner. And Mickie goes, no. No, thank you. I got to do this myself.
Because at a rodeo, there's only like one person on the what is the bull, right?
Yeah, but
bull riding.
Each bull rider, I think, has like a team.
That's a good point.
I think.
That's a good point.
I actually don't know anything about
Neither
rodeo.
do I. It seems dangerous.
Exceptionally.
I saw like on my Instagram, it's been pushing me more and more violent content.
Yes, I did see that.
There was one where a dude got kicked by a bull with the hind legs.
Ow.
And I'm like, how is this person not dead?
I know.
I'm almost positive Instagram at this point is simply feeding me like gore gallery stuff. It's horrible.
You got to reset that algorithm somehow.
I don't know how to do that. Like, do I have to start an entirely new account?
Well, I think if you just like
I showed you, there's that one. It was like just a naked guy humping like a truck.
Yeah, on the windshield. I don't understand like the physics of that. You gotta like look at like puppy videos or something like that.
Yeah, but then it's gonna show me like fucking puppies getting run over by cars and stuff.
God.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to see that. I do not. I am not interested. In seeing
open up Instagram and just do the thing and go to view the people you follow.
I'm gonna get a freaking terms of service violation if I open it here on the show. Seeing a dude bricked up,
I'm not
banging
saying,
a
I'm
truck.
not saying you do it now. I'm saying when you're on the toilet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Passing the time.
Yeah.
Go to Instagram. Just press the thing on the top left and go to following. You won't see any of that.
Go to top left and follow what?
No, what? You don't know about that?
No, I don't want to. Yeah.
So we got Eric Young versus Sami Callihan next.
Yeah, I'll do this one.
You go to Instagram, and up here where it says Instagram, you go to following, and it's just the.
Oh, the people that I'm actually following. That seems a little bit boring, though. Like the
No, you just like the
You never know what I'm going to see.
Yeah.
So I'm complaining about it, but I really
like the unpredictability of the whole thing. But you just want to complain about it. Yeah, Eric Young
versus Sami Callihan. This is like a dream match for my voices here.
It really is.
So
it's a good way to shred your throat.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So anyways, Sammy gets the upper hand here, calls for a Cactus Driver 97. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh my God. Who are these people? And then like a bunch of the violent people with the yellow hoodies surround the ring.
Including one that's very tall.
Yeah, very tall one. And Sammy tries to fight them off, rather. He gets overwhelmed, and the ref calls for the bell because clearly this is a DQ situation.
Oh, yeah.
So another loss for Eric Young, but he learned something in this loss. If you have like 1 million people on your side, you can just beat the shit out of a guy. It doesn't matter.
I know.
So anyways, ref calls for a bell. Diener calls off the dudes, and then two of them unmask or unhood. And one of them is fucking Connor from the Ascension.
Yeah.
Now he goes as Big Con.
Yeah.
And then Alan Angels is the other one. So he's gone from he went from the Dark Order to another
faction.
But this one went from purple
to yellow.
Yeah. Welcome, Big Con. Big Con's in good shape.
Yeah.
He looks in really good shape.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's been a while. Like, there was I don't know, years ago when they got released from WWE, you didn't really hear too much.
Yeah.
They were going to go by a different name. It wasn't the Ascension. It was
Wasteland.
Was it the Wasteland?
Something with Wasteland, because that was kind of their deal too.
Welcome to the Wasteland.
Then Jordan Grace, she's going to her locker room. She opens the door and she's like, not again.
Oh, they took a shiv to Callahan. Said Callahan was bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
He was like a stuck pig.
Yeah. So she walks to her locker room, and then the whole wall is covered with those pictures that Giselle Shaw was passing out of her holding the title.
Yeah, right.
And then Jai Vidal is in there.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Says, takes a picture of Jordan after Jordan sees all the pictures on the wall. Says, I did this for Shaw. And Grace says, all right, Giselle can get her title shot next week.
Yeah, she throws him on the couch and puts a boot to his neck. Yeah, we've seen Jai Vidal at LA Fights, I think.
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah. After that, we had Moose versus Ace Austin. So we talked about this a little bit. Moose has this kind of in control, but then Bully Ray walks to ringside, talks some shit to Moose, and they jaw for a little while. And that gave enough time for Ace Austin to come to after Moose had sort of taken him out a bit. So then Moose looks for a spear. Ace evades that. Moose kind of posts himself, and then Ace rolls him up to get the win. And he's like, Moose is like shocked, and then Bully's like, are you happy now? Yeah. Are you happy now?
Commentary is really saying that Bully was telling Ace, roll him up, after he missed the spear. Yeah. Like Bully's doing everything he can to prove that he's not a scumbag anymore. Then we got our main event, Aussie Open, taking on Frankie Kazarian and Josh Alexander. Fun match they gave ton of time to. Down towards the end, Josh Alexander and Kyle Fletcher do that spot, which I don't really care for because it always looks scary, where they both go out of the ring on the suplex.
Oh, God, I hate that spot.
Yeah. So they take each other out, and then Kazarian hits Davis with a slingshot cutter to get the win. Yeah. And then Kazarian picks up the Impact title, and Alexander gets back in the ring, so Kazarian puts the title on his shoulders. It's all about respect and stuff.
Yeah. He looked at it first. He was like eyeballing it.
I want this.
Breathing on it a bit.
He's earn it.
Yeah.
I need to earn
it. That's happening in Overdrive?
Yeah, 2 weeks' time, I think. Yeah,
all confidence points on Josh Alexander. What else is going on there?
So, I honestly don't remember. Well, that was the finals for the X Division tourney. So that'll be Speedball versus Taurus.
Oh, they're just going to put that back on Speedball. Yeah. They might do something weird, though, with that X Division.
I'd be surprised. I kind of thought whoever won between Kenny King and Speedball was going to win the tournament.
Yeah, I feel like you're right about that.
It's kind of weird they didn't save that match for the finals.
When is is Chelsea versus Mickey versus Chelsea's
That's
happening?
Next week.
That's next week.
So is Jordan versus Giselle Shaw. That's next week.
Okay. I mean, just probably gonna be like some weird tag.
Oh yeah, it's probably major players and Heath and Rhino.
Okay, yeah,
that's probably happened. Heath and Rhino will win that.
Yeah, maybe. You're probably right about that. Okay, man, it's time.
All right.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
In the words of Triple. So it looks like he has entered into the Zoom here. So he's just going to zoom into the show. It's time for our Smackdown preview. This is a very important part of the show, and then we've got some questions. I put up a questions thread for NXT and the other thing that we did, Impact.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go take care of some important paperwork.
Okay.
All right. And so here comes here.
I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but all right.
Hopefully this works.
How am I going to be able to hear him?
It's just technology. It's just technology. You'll be able to hear him.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Is he here? Here we go. All right. I'm going to go.
Hello? Hello? Hi. Hello?
Oh, hi, Triple H. How are you?
Hey, who's this?
It's Larson.
Oh, you sound like Steve. I'm going to call you Steve.
All right.
That's what I know you by. You told me it was Steve, and now I'm just going to call you Steve.
Okay. Whatever works. Whatever
All right,
works.
it's Steve. So, are you excited? Are you ready? This SmackDown right here, I worked for a very long time.
What time is it? I know you're over.
I am so exhausted right now. I am in Jeddah or Riyadh, one of them. I don't even know what time it is. Let's see here. Hey, Siri, what time is it in Saudi Arabia? Hey, Siri. This thing never... I find it funny this thing never works.
Yeah, this isn't like it's working
for you. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Okay, I don't know what time it is.
All right, very well. Well, what do we have in store for SmackDown tonight?
Here. Hold on a second.
All right, do you want me to get started with the preview?
No, you wait for me.
All
Don't
right,
interrupt. Stop it. God, don't interrupt me. Jeddah. Saudi. Really? Come on. Saudi.
Oh, my gosh.
Riyadh. How about Riyadh? I'm sure it's all the same
Yeah.
time zone. It's a late at night. It's 11:27 at night right now.
It's got to be close to your bedtime. I know you're really prioritizing sleep.
Oh, but try getting sleep on a weird sleep schedule. It's supposed to be the middle of the day for me at Stanford.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not the case. Rey Mysterio is going to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental chair.
Triple H, if you need me to step in, just let me know.
Oh, hey, no, I'm back. I'm
All
back.
right,
All right.
good.
So Rey Mysterio is going to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental Champion. We already taped this shit like a week ago.
Yeah, I heard.
So, you could find the spoilers, but you probably want to watch SmackDown because this is great stuff.
Okay.
There's a lot of chops in this match.
Oh, good.
I love Walter. I think he's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like the name Gunther better, though.
All right.
It's got the word gun in it, and those are cool. I mean, they, in theory, in practice, they're terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got in
We
SmackDown?
need gun control.
Yeah, we do.
We need Gunther control. All right, listen, next up, we've got Liv Morgan. She's going to go to war. That's another thing that, sounds cool, but, it's really not cool. It's like gun sounds cool, but it's not cool.
Not cool at all.
Liv Morgan's going to go to war. Well, she's going to go have a skirmish with Sonya Deville in a no disqualification match. Do you know what that means?
No DQ.
Don't interrupt me. It means
Question.
don't interrupt me. It means you can do anything you want. You can kick somebody in their nether regions down there.
Triple H, can I ask you a question?
Can I think about this?
It's quick. It's a real quick question.
You're gonna do it anyways, I guess. So go ahead.
So why is it in a no DQ match you can't pin someone anywhere? There's no rules.
Why is it you can't do what now?
The no DQ match. Why can't you just pin someone on the floor?
I don't know. You're asking me the difficult questions, and it's late at night or in the afternoon. I can't even tell.
My bad.
Don't ever do that again.
I apologize.
You've now got me in a bad mood.
I'm sorry. Well, at least you're close to bedtime. You can sleep.
Don't interrupt me, and don't tell me when it's time to go to bed either. Don't do any of those things. Next up, Ricochet is going to take on, hey, dummy, LA Knight. I like this guy. He goes around calling everybody stupid. It's awesome. It's how I feel.
Wow.
When I'm talking to you.
I'll be sure to relay that to Steve.
Don't interrupt. You're Steve. The other guy's Larson. The guy that looks like Fat Cena, that's Larson. And the guy with the old man beard, that's Steve. That's what the game says. It's time to play the game. So Ricochet, I love this guy. Can't talk a lick, but he's amazing in the ring. LA Knight, he's mediocre in the ring, but he can talk. And guess what this business is based on?
Talking?
Don't interrupt me. Talking is the answer. Very exciting.
All right, Triple H. I know you got a long weekend ahead of you, so thanks for.
You don't want to hang out with me more?
Well, yeah.
Is Fat Cena done doing paperwork? I know he had some very important paperwork to do.
I don't think he had any paperwork.
He's got to get the pen out and he's got to write some stuff. Do you ever write anymore? I've got terrible handwriting.
Yeah, me too. I don't write anymore. The other day.
I got to go. Bye.
All right, bye.
Man, that paperwork was.
You got back awfully quickly. From
I did. I know. How did it go?
Sitting right there.
How did it go?
It went all right.
It went okay.
Yeah, I thought we bonded for a second, just
Really?
a second, over the fact that we don't really write. Either of us write anymore.
Oh yeah. Wait, did he hang up on you?
Yeah, but it's late
Oh.
there. I don't blame him for that.
It is late there,
super
but then
late.
it's like a weird thing where it's like the afternoon. He's probably getting used to it. Adjust. He did the whole press conference thing.
Yeah, it's probably been a long day for him. So
I would imagine so. Let's answer a couple of questions. I know that was taxing on you, but I feel like we can probably sleepwalk a couple questions here. First up, David Matushik says, considering Ava Rain's relationship with Schism currently, when do you think would be the best time for her to break out and show her true chops? I mean, a long time.
yeah,
I don't know. It's too early to tell.
it's way too early.
It's been like 2 weeks.
yeah, it has been 2 weeks.
Alex Foster says, should Von Wagner, hey, I'm the problem champion.
Hey.
Go back to the character he was when he was friends with Kyle.
What was the character?
He says, I feel like he was somewhat funny back then. Intentionally or unintentionally?
I don't really think he ever really had a character.
His character was a guy who found a dead body on his premises. Yeah. That was his character.
And that actually wasn't NXT canon.
And I kind of feel like that's still his character.
It could be.
Yeah, like it's so warped his mind.
Well, the knowledge of that is eating at him so much that.
Right, exactly. Like him seeing that dead body is like my Instagram feed.
Oof.
It's horrible.
You got to do something about that.
Dudes
He might
banging
just have
trucks.
to do a complete redo.
Why was that guy banging the hood?
I don't know.
Windshield.
Like I said, I don't even understand the physics of it.
He was like, and the little cat. The only thing Captain said was Spider-Man, but it was spelled wrong.
All right, what's the next
I
question?
could see the parallels because he was spread out like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know.
But he was butt naked and probably bricked up.
Probably.
Cameron Bartolozzo says, who is someone that you're surprised never won a world championship in WWE? He says for him it's Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah. There was a little edited clip of Shelton highlights that was going around Twitter last night. I watched like 2 times because damn, he was good.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
He was good. Like the usual names, Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, I think it was like, I think we did a list.
Yeah, we did.
It was like Razor, Perfect, Piper. Piper was really surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not because Hogan was the guy back then.
I know.
But yeah, they should have put that title on Piper and had Hogan chase him.
Yeah, that's not how Vince did things, though.
No, he didn't. He did the other way around. Nick Kyle says, should Toxic Attraction get called up to main roster as soon as possible?
Yep.
Yeah. Luis Areza says, now that it's been a little more than a year since the rebrand, what letter grade would you give NXT?
Ooh. I would say a B-. It hasn't been without its flaws.
Yeah.
But we still get enough good wrestling, especially on the premium live events, that it gives us a little bit of what we liked about NXT prior to the rebrand.
Yeah.
I don't think all the characters have necessarily hit the mark. And it's still a wildly inconsistent show week in and week out. I'll say right now a B-, just a little bit above average.
I would give I mean, dude, look, it sort of depends. Like NXT, the brand. I mean, I would give Shawn Michaels like I'd give him like what a tough position. To be in.
Yeah.
Like I'd give him like a solid B- because like you can't. It'd be like a B- because like he's obviously tried his damnedest. But I also feel like there's been some stuff in NXT that like I feel like, man, this shit ain't gonna work. You know better than that.
Yeah.
Like the actual show itself, I have a hard time giving anything more than a C. Like I give him a B for trying, B- for trying.
Yeah.
I give the show itself like a C.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know. it's been very hit or miss.
It has been.
It's still kind of hokey, to be honest.
It
with
is.
you.
It is pretty damn hokey.
Yeah. Let's see here. Nick Hook says, with all the returns recently, who will be champion first, excluding Damage Control? So I guess the returns like Gargano, Candice,
Cross,
Loomis.
Are we talking world champ or just any championship?
I would do any championship. I would think that Gargano he is so heavily featured on Raw. I could see them maybe pivoting him towards Seth
In the U.S. title.
and the U.S. title.
That makes the
I
most
could
sense.
see that as a possibility.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors. We appreciate it. It's Saturday. We've got Crown Jewel Watch Along happening both here at the Twitch and on the YouTube. So join us for that. It's at 10 in the morning Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.